It's the Wednesday edition, Woman Crush Wednesday. My name is Mariam Bishar. On the decks, we have the lovely
DJ Nara.
You know, Auntie Sanjuk. She's the one keeping the vibes. And of course, it's Woman Crush Wednesday. So, you know, in studio, we have to have bomb women, amazing women, talented women, also just kind women, just people who are nice to be around, good energy. And we are doing exactly that. We have with us in studio Lisa Odwar Noah. She is a singer, a songwriter, a producer, a teacher, I would also call her. Karibu sana to studio, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Mariam. How are you doing?
I'm good. Mariam, I was just about to be like
my friend said, because you said the thing about Safaricom.
Yeah, Safaricom. Yeah, they were texting me and they're like, hello, Miriam. I'm like, your bill is due. I'm like, Miriam can pay the bill. Mariam? Mariam is not
Thank
paying.
you so much, Mariam.
It's so nice to have you, Lisa.
Thank you for having
I'll
me.
begin with your globe trotting. You've literally just landed from Australia. Please tell me about your travels in the land of the South. If you saw any snakes coming down from
And spiders.
and spiders the size of your fist.
If I did, I'd have been back here already. I promise you. But it was lovely. Like, I was there for about 6 to 7 weeks, and I was performing all throughout Australia. So I went all the way from like Sydney to the capital city, Canberra. I was by the coast in Adelaide. And then I went to a place called Orange, which, fun fact, a place called Orange is one of the apple capital of Australia.
Oh,
So I was like,
Oh.
you guys are called Orange, but
But
you make
you-
the best
You
apples.
make apples, right?
You know that like old saying which says you can't get apples from an orange tree. I said,
You actually can.
yeah,
You can.
This town you can. Yeah, but it was lovely. Just interacting with all sorts of audiences, taught workshops, and yeah, just performed at many like I guess signature venues in Sydney as well. I was there last year in November,
Yes.
but this time we decided to go for a bit longer. So it was a lot of fun.
Almost a residence, except you have to be in the same place for
Yeah, that's
residency.
the thing. Yeah, exactly.
But
Just-
I'm glad that you had a lot of fun. Were you playing for primarily Kenyan audiences or Australian audiences?
Actually, no. Majority of the audience was Australian, and it was so interesting to see people who are like, "We've come from 3 hours away to come see you."
Oh,
And I was
Wow.
like, "Hey, huku." If people come for you like even an hour away,
That's
you know
right.
you're loved.
it's true. But
Um,
let me defend us because
Thanks.
Kenya is small. So like an hour
Is
in Kenya is
Naivasha.
it's Naivasha,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Uko,
yeah.
like Australia is so big. 3 hours
Exactly.
ni kama tu, you
I
know.
know.
and it doesn't hit you until you get there. Then you realize, going across the countries can be 5 hours. Then you're like, it takes us 5 hours to get to SA. Hey, okay,
Yeah.
noted. It's
Damn.
far.
A
Okay.
5-hour flight.
Yeah, to get across to Perth.
Oh.
Yeah. So when someone's telling you 3 hours, you're like, hey, this is
Where?
serious.
Umetry.
Yeah, umetry.
Umetry.
But it was so nice. Predominantly Australian. There were a few Kenyans. I remember the last show. There were a couple of Kenyans who came through, I think, who have lived in Aussie for like quite some time. So it was
Yeah.
really nice to see them. Like in the middle of the show, someone was like, Nyakoma bear. And I said, I see the Kenyans.
I am
landed."
home.
What does
I
that
am
mean?
with you.
What does Nyakoma Bear mean?
It's like saying, like fine girl.
Yeah,
And
okay,
then
okay,
in
okay.
another way to say so.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to learn all these. Nara, we just keep writing them down. And
You
then-
know.
so you can
Come
use them.
up
I also like telling, don't always wait for guys to be the ones to give compliments.
Yeah,
to see a girl looking
throw
nice,
it
you're
in
like,
there.
Nyakoma
Shock
Bear.
someone
Yeah,
to do the be like,
exactly.
Huh? Thank you. Yeah.
They'll probably be like, what you said? And they go, guy.
Mimi. Asante
Exactly.
sana.
Plus, compliments from women slap much
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah.
They will last so much longer.
True.
10 men could tell me I look good and be like, well, one girl in a bathroom,
Oh, yeah.
half drunk, and I will think about it the whole weekend.
The whole week, even. You're just
Even
like,
just
thank
in
you
passing,
so much.
Like,
Yeah.
you'll be on the street and someone says, that nod. Like,
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
see you.
excuse me. Thank you.
I love the appreciation, man. But I'm
Yeah.
glad that also Kenyans and Aussie are appreciating, but that your audience
Absolutely.
is that big. How
Right.
did you
Thank
cultivate
you.
that? Because it's very easy to play here and be like minim tuoku.
Yeah.
Alafu,
You
a
got to
they
be
say
like,
they say a prophet is never appreciated
welcome.
in their own home.
It's interesting because like it was just by chance. The person who called me to go out there was Kenyan, lived here, then moved.
Okay.
And they were just like, do you want to try? So when we went last year, I think I had like 4 or 5 gigs, and the reception was so nice. Like I
Yeah.
remember the first gig I did, we had 2 shows back to back, full on with like 300 people, and so that's 600 in one night.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And they had an interesting ticketing system. It's not like here where you go and you say, me, I want to buy. So they have this
Yeah.
thing called billeting.
Uh-huh.
So if you're like a member of like that performance venue, or like you get emails, they send you like for that one you kind of like apply to go for the gig.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you pay
so
still?
I think so, but for that one they weren't paying.
Okay.
I think I
So
get
it's
it
kind
like
of like
boiler
sponsored.
boiler
Boiler
room.
room,
Yes,
exactly.
you would just apply and then they'll sell you
Exactly.
kama umepata mojapa.
Exactly.
Okay.
And because like I guess that venue was funded philanthropically,
Mhm.
you're kind of like, okay, so your pay is guaranteed.
Okay.
So these guys, like, they're random people from all throughout the city. There was someone who's like this incredible photographer who's like a Nikon like sponsored one, and she was there. She was like, "It's such a lovely break for my night," and I was like, "This chick has 300,000 followers. What are you doing here? You know, tell me about this gig."
Yeah.
But people from all walks of life. There was a DJ as well. So, and she's like really
Wow.
big. She was she's also like how do I say, POC, person of color,
Mhm.
in Aussie, and there were some Zimbabweans, like all sorts of
Amazing.
folks. So,
Yeah.
and this time it was even more interesting because I was going to like parts of the country. Like there was a jazz festival which was more inland, and it was super cold. You guys think you're cold here at home?
Hakuna, we don't know.
It hit 0 degrees, and I said, you know what? We don't have to go outside.
Zero?
And folks still showed up.
Wow.
So that's like, it's incredible to see guys being that devoted to art
Yes.
and culture as well. So
It is a beautiful thing to see. Yeah. Honestly, someone coming out to see you in 0 degree weather is just
Right?
like all love, all
Yeah.
love, all love.
hey,
But I want to talk about your sound a little bit as well
Sure.
and your music background. Like, tell me about your influences and then how they changed when you got, like, you know, Berkeley is a big deal, man. It's the best music school in the world, right? So how do you then merge the Berkeley education and then, you know, the Kenyan music and life and everything?
I don't know. Like, I think Berkeley was a great opportunity to take what I had grown up on and what I've listened to, which is like, it's a pretty big palette. So a lot of African music, a lot of soul and R&B, guys like India Ari, and then going to learn now, this is what that music maybe looks like, or what, when you're hearing it, this is what you see on paper. And then taking that and maybe applying different techniques of what I've seen to the music and how I guess I build it or make it. And it changed because it made me realize, like, you know, I can put Jeng in R&B and they don't necessarily have to understand, but if they like it, then
They will
you'll
vibe with it.
yeah. And it's so funny, like with some of the audiences in Australia, I'd say, you guys say moko moko baby, and they sing along.
Yeah.
And I tell them, no, emphasize like your low, like baby, you know. And then they're like baby, and they check out, and you're like, okay, it's coming across. Or you teach them in like certain words in Swahili.
Yeah.
And like I remember someone came up to me and was like, you know, we went on a hike to Tanzania, and the guide was telling us, don't run. He's like, usikimbie. Then he said, he was telling us, Polly. He's like, now you're singing Polly. What a wonder. And it was like between the gap of when he was telling them to when I came was like, what, 25 years. And he's triggered that memory. And part of your brain is like, you know what? You can fuse, I guess, not just your background with necessarily the present and or popular style.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if necessarily you'd find me doing gengeton, not because it's bad,
But
just
it's not
not
necessarily your
you.
sound, which is
yet,
okay. Yeah.
you know, or if it ever will be. But it means that my background is I grew up and my folks spoke Luo. I love English and command of language and even singing in other languages, and I love the feel of different rhythms and etc. So I can apply that, and that's what
Right.
makes music. Like it's like a big pot of stuff. It's like making pilau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Just
actually
throw
it's
stuff in.
yeah, cooking and seasoning and doing all those good
Exactly.
things. We're gonna get into the music now and come back into the conversation a little bit more and find out what you're up to, how we can show you love, how we can listen to you. We've got Jahera, of course, by Lisa, playing on 96.3 Nation FM.
Send your